Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. This is going to be more of a rant style video as I'm coming to revisit the G-Wolves HTX and just kind of talking about it. As you see, I have two here. I didn't pay for one of these because one of these was a replacement for my original HTX, which is my 29-gram Ace, and it got replaced with the HTX 4K. I just want to talk about a bunch of issues I've been having with the mouse and just my frustration with G-Wolves overall, and why I probably won't be recommending the HTX again, just overall. So first, I do want to start with what happened to my original HTX. So mine is schizo modded. You can see straight through it, and that's completely fine. I only schizo modded it after I got confirmed I was getting another one from Jim. But before I started schizo modding this, schizo modding is just me gutting everything. It's 29 grams. This is it's incredibly too light. That's all I'm gonna say. But the issue that I was having was the power switch likes to just turn off randomly. And I went to talk to G-Wolves Jim. We all know G-Wolves Jim is the most helpful person in all of North America. And China, I think he's in, or Japan. I don't know. I think it's China. But we all know he's the most helpful individual. And he told me to try resoldering the switch myself. So I did, and I actually ended up making it worse, making the mouse nearly unusable. It would turn off on me every like 2 seconds with nothing I could do about it. So I'm like, yeah, Jim, that made it significantly worse. So he sent me a new one, and the new one worked completely fine for about 2 weeks until the sensors started skipping. And with the sensor skipping, it became so unusable that literally, like, I would try to move the mouse, but it would be like the sensors start like going crazy, and it was very unfun to play with. Messaged him about it a couple weeks ago after I made a video on Twitter showing it in Valorant. And he said, yeah, no, this is not normal, but he said to move my router out of my room. And I tried that. It did end up working, but it's such a convoluted fix for the mouse where I would have to literally remove my internet from my room in order to use the mouse. And I don't think any mouse price at this $170, you should have to redo everything. I have to call the technician out here to move the router anyway, because the router is specifically put in my room, cabling and everything. It's like it's meant to be where it is. And it's a lot more effort to do that for a mouse when I could just use any other mouse for the same, like, that's essentially the same. And before someone says, oh, well, polling rates and certain frequencies and blah, 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 all of my other 4K mice, all of them run stable at 4K or 8K or even 2K with no drops. The HTX 4K, my specific copy, it drops every like 2 seconds, and the sensor dies. I've also disabled the 2.4 gigahertz frequency on my modem. It doesn't even spit out the same frequency as my mouse is detecting. It shouldn't be an issue that the mouse doesn't work with the receiver, with the modem in the room. Like I said, it's most likely a receiver issue, and I will be buying a new one, but it's hard to recommend. And before anyone asks, I've tried several. I'm talking about every single firmware update on G-Wolves site. I've tried the first one to the newest one. I've tried unreleased firmwares. I've tried just completely resetting the mouse. I've tried taking apart the dongle. I've tried taking the mouse apart. I've tried it in this shell to see if it was like a shell issue. Like just about everything you could think of, I've tried. And no, it's not raw input. I know it's not raw input. It was happening on the desktop. So it all came down to me thinking it was a receiver issue. So I'm after buying a new receiver from G-Wolves, wait till the AKA Hertz receiver comes out to buy a new one. But right now, it's really hard to recommend the HTX. And I've heard several people talk about scroll wheel jumps with the scroll wheel debalance being too high or too low. Here are some screenshots of Asuno Ames trying to get support through G-Wolves, and they're telling him to do the exact same thing, and they weren't really listening to what he was saying to like actually get the issue resolved. And they're not sending him a new mouse either. So he pretty much has a 200. Well, he's Canadian, so it's like $250 Canadian brick just sitting around. He can't use it at all, and it's kind of just like a paperweight. It's not even a paperweight. It's too light to be a paperweight. But yeah, it's very sucky. And for this mouse being $170 USD, it makes it really hard to recommend spending your money on the 4K version. The Ace might be a little bit better because you're not dealing with those inconsistencies in the 4K. You're not dealing with having to move your router. You're not dealing with a lot of this crap that's making it a hard recommend. but I did have a QC issue with my initial G-Wolves HTX. This is the batch 1. I'm assuming the newer batches are completely fine now, but it's still really hard to recommend the HTX 4K for $170 when for the same price you get a fully functional WL mouse. For the same price, you could get the Stormbreaker. For the same price, you could get a GPX2, V2 Pro, Death Adder V3. Like, there's so many mice you can get for the exact same price. But it's really hard to recommend the HTX 4K specifically when you're getting spotty QC and you're also getting spotty customer support. And it's really not easy to say, hey, this is the mouse to go get, and just pray you get a functional copy that has no issues. Because if you don't, good luck. Like, it's hard. That's a lot of money to spend. When WL mouse, their support magnificent. My copy cracked, and they're literally sending me a whole new shell for free. It's insane. Or even Ponage, their support. If something went wrong with the Stormbreaker, I'm pretty sure I'll just get a new one. Razer support, insane. Logitech support. If I claimed right now that my Superlight 2 had a non-functioning left click, even though I didn't buy it to them, I'm pretty sure they would just replace the mouse and let me keep this one. It's insane with how expensive the mouse is, how crappy of experience you can have if you don't have a absolutely perfect unit with no flaws. And the only thing keeping the HTX 4K on the market at the moment for me is its shape being the most unique shape I've seen in a new mouse. It's curved in on the side, has a really nice front flare and back flare, and it's pretty much the best mouse I could ever imagine for a fingertip. It feels like it's made for my hand, and it sucks that I literally can't use it. It's impossible to use, and I just can't recommend getting the G-Wolves HTX anymore. So yeah, hope you guys did enjoy this video. Like I said, this is more of a rant style video. I'm in between a couple of videos at the moment. We have a couple Mousepads coming up. The Mouser Sphinx, the Musashi Void, the Odin Gaming Andromeda, or Andromeda, I think is what it is. I think I said it wrong. We also have the Arbiter Polar 65 and the Drunk Deer GK or G61. I have reviews on both of these coming as well. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy this video. Like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more rant style content, because I rant a lot about a lot of things. And I'll see you all in the next one.